There we go. That's better. Okay, anyway, lads. Back to the mid-chapter update from these fucking terrible developers, bruh. Let's see what we got here.
That was okay.
Not Queen. These assholes are at it again, dude.
Typing because it was really loud.
Let's see what we got here.
So bear with us. This is the first time we do this from home. We're hoping...
Okay, so again, the reason why we're here is we are predicting that they will be discussing the nerf to slowdown synergy in this stream. They're talking about perk changes, I've heard. So this is the stream where they're going to tell us that, yeah, we may have given you this, but we're taking this. So get ready for that, lads. That's what this is. Don't let them fool you with this chapter update. This is all just a plan to make the survivors have a better experience. That's what this is. That's what this is. They're throwing us a bone because a lot of us were quitting after they were butt fucking us, which deservingly so, by the way. Okay, hold on. We're gonna get in there. Rank 3, bruh? Wish they made... Most medkits are one-time use. This game about to get deleted. Deleted? Bruh, why delete it now? You put up with the bullshit for so long. Why delete the game now? It's finally going to get better. Okay, let's see here. Oh shit. Here we go, lads.
I'm gonna say almost as good, but like, yeah, it's gonna be almost as good as our normal streams. But it might have a little bit of, you know, hiccups, so bear with us.
Might have hiccups. The hiccups are how bad you guys are.
Our guest today, so I
is Demo getting buffed? I mean,
on Dead by Daylight. And with us today we have Ethan and Patrick.
The fact that the game is getting fixed is going to be a buff to every single killer, so you won't have to deal with the god loops anymore. So every killer is hopefully going to have an easier time getting set up, so hopefully Demo will be buffed in that manner.
Introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm Patrick.
Okay, so Patrick is filling in for Matt Wall, our
Jesus.
map designer.
So much technical problems.
Did not make it, so Pat is filling in for him. We have a lot of map questions in this Q&A, so hopefully Pat is going to be able to answer them.
Oh boy.
Almost as good as Matt Walker.
Want Demo to be a top tier, don't we all, dude?
Perfect. And Ethan? Hello.
Alright.
I found them mute button. Yes, hello.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
Hi. Okay, so Ethan is a live game designer, so...
Game designer.
Alright. About this, so we have a couple of news and announcements. Jump into the Q&A. So
come on, losers, let's go. Let's get this shindig. Let's get this shindig moving. I'm bored already.
So the mid-chapter update. Drum roll, everyone.
Oh!
Super surprising. Next week on Tuesday.
Next week, Tuesday.
On Tuesday is the mid-chapter update, and the day after we have the new archive releasing.
Kiss your god loops goodbye.
I'm just adjusting my camera. Sorry.
So, as I was saying earlier in the chat, it is soon TM. Perfect. Then, a few reminder, we have a contest going on right now to design a cosmetic.
You guys want to design a cosmetic? Is that what you really want to do with your life? Come on, dude. Come on.
Already, so that's a lot. We're gonna have to...
Killer rank 12 shouldn't be against red ranks. Well, here, but the problem with the matchmaking, dude, I've said this a few times. The problem with the matchmaking right now is that killers aren't playing right now because of how bad the game is. So the only way that matchmaking gets better, like seriously, they can implement any method that they want. The only way matchmaking gets better is if more killers come back to play the game. That's really the only way. It's not about, because like the problem is that there's too many red rank survivors, not enough red rank killers. The killers have to come back to the game. So all these nerfs to killer that have been happening for the past 5 months have been completely ridiculous, and they've been killing the game. Yeah, it's like it's just terrible. 2 years in game. But oh, don't you want to try this patch, dude? This patch is the most promising one we've had in 2 years.
But if you still want to participate, I don't know if we have the link in chat.
Do I want to participate in your awful contest? No, I do not. Your awful contest can go kill itself.
If you want to go
How about you have a contest to design to see which guy can fix the game? But how about you design a contest to see which person can fix the game the easiest? Ruin nerf killed the game. I mean, yeah, I did, but like this patch, I swear, this patch is your best bet. It might be worth trying.
Okay. Oh, there's a spam. So if you want to go check out what other people submitted.
Look at that fucking atrocious demo, fucking not demo build, Deathslinger build. I mean, it has Discord and so it's not that bad.
We have absolutely amazing submissions already. But
I'm not gonna get this shit over with, bro.
That would not be cool. Alright, finally, we have a new bug report section in the forum.
Okay, I'm gonna start skipping to where they start talking about relevant stuff.
See if you can show up. Exactly, perfect. Last week? The map questions.
Here we go.
Patrick / Matt Walker.
No, this is Patrick.
Hi, Patrick Harris. These developers are so funny and in touch.
So, Slaughterhouse 3 is
I'll come back when Clown is viable.
for unbreakable walls to older maps.
Well, good question. So.
Okay, there's breakable walls on older maps now.
Good old Matt Walker was kind enough to write down his answers. I'll be presenting them to all y'all, so I apologize if I'm not picture perfect. Please.
Oh, don't worry.
Don't
you guys aren't perfect by any means.
I'm a terrible source of quotes. Matt's a much better source of quotes. So, in terms of adding breakable walls to older maps, yeah, that is the plan. The plan is to get those suckers into all the maps that we have.
Dude, that's pretty neat.
We got a lot of maps. I don't know if you guys.
What's pretty neat is like the thing about the breakable walls now is like before it was always with this mechanic. It was always, what is it going to be doing with the god loops? That was the only question I always had about it. But now that the god loops are dead and they're just straight up getting rid of them, adding breakable walls to these maps, like where the god loops were, it would be considered a nerf the killer. So there's still a way they can do this and nerf killer, which is what I'm worried about. Like, I'm worried that some of these doorways are going to get turned into breakable walls in a few patches. Like, seriously, you don't think it'll happen? They could close up that doorway with a breakable wall if it's deemed too good to have for us right now. I could very easily see them doing that. And if you can't see them doing that, yeah. you should really see them doing that, bruh. Can we just buff every killer heart? I mean, I've always advocated for that, but they're not going to do that, bruh. The devs don't want to design a top-tier killer. What is this patch even about? They're nerfing the god loops. All the loops that you think are unfair are probably going away. The loop at Rancid Abattoir is gone. The loop at Suffocation Pit is gone. The loop at Coal Tower is gone. The loop at Torment Creek is gone. The loop at Wretched Shop is gone. All these loops are gone, my guy. They're gone-o. They're just straight, they're gone. And they're nerfing survivors on a gen together as well. Not by much, but they're nerfing it. And they're nerfing skill checks. When a skill check, they cut it down in half. Instead of doing 2% of a gen, it does 1% now instead. So they're nerfing gen rushing and the maps. And they're like size reducing a lot of maps. Like Rotten Fields is getting, and they're taking out tile. They're doing a ton in this patch, dude. If you don't like it after this patch, then you can go ahead and delete it. But I think you should play this patch. Every window, dude, I'm telling you, the windows are gone, and they put doorways. I get it, but then they have to use their dead heart, and they don't get it again, and then you can just walk out the door with Bloodlust and get them. This is looking to be the best patch in a very long time.
Noticed there's what, like 1 or 2, I think it gets.
Demo just needs his portals on set locations that can't be cleansed. That's what he needs.
Yeah, around 30, and that takes a bit of time. So I'm not even going to throw a soon TM on that. It's on our list. It's something that we're looking at doing, but it'll.
Fair enough, dude. I do want you to play Tuesday. I want you to try the maps, bro.
That someone quoted you on your "I'm a terrible source of quote." So now this is your quote, Pat.
Well, I am a terrible source of quotes. If that's the best.
So yeah, there's a way they could implement breakable walls into the game that would nerf the way that could nerf Killer. This mechanic is, especially now that the God loops are gone, isn't inherently just Killer favored. So that's what I'm worried about with breakable walls at this stage in the game. They could easily just nerf Killers with this mechanic. They could. You don't think they will? Oh, they will, bro. They will. But if we continue to use the breakable walls to like get rid of some of these stupid structures, we could still have something here, bro. Clown and Trapper. Trapper's not the worst, dude. Not Trapper. Not Trapper. Demo is good on paper. Demo's good on paper, but he's not good in execution. They messed him up. But Trapper's not the worst in the game.
Alright. So, okay, thank you. Thank you on this. Brown Monster, sorry, is asking, why hasn't the Asylum window been changed in this update?
Good question.
So that was a very.
They're asking about Larry's. Why hasn't these awful loop? Well, if we're gonna fix some of these maps, why wasn't Larry's hit?
Restraint answer for this, but maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll try to channel my Matt on this one. Time constraints is his answer.
Time constraints.
No, but it's true. It's time constraints. It takes a lot more time than you think it does to fix these sorts of things, and we have to prioritize all kinds of stuff. We have to look at all the different issues on all the different maps and decide which ones have sort of the best bang for the buck, right? In particular, it's not just like, oh, we scooch something over. There's art involved. We need to make sure that the map looks correct and very pretty.
Shut up.
Have QA test it. Tell us if we did it right, because, like,
yeah, one window change isn't gonna fix Larry's. Taking out one window on Larry's isn't gonna actually fix the map. If you want to fix Larry's, you have to like give us the old Larry's back, bruh. Give us the old Larry's back with a new texture. The old Larry's was fine. If you want to make the generators more clear to survivors, sure. But like, the old Larry's was perfect. It was perfect.
Do things wrong sometimes, so QA helps us out with that and catches those issues sometimes. Yeah, so there's actually a fair bit of work. So the only reason it hasn't been done, it's not that we don't care, it's not that it isn't on our list, it's just that, kind of like the answer to the last question, just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Okay, but I like that answer for one reason, because it makes it sound like they're gonna get rid of that palette. It makes it sound like Larry's is gonna get looked at again, which is good. Which is good, because Larry's is such a fucking disaster right now. Like, I think they went way too overboard with that. They went way too overboard with how they fixed Larry's. The reason why Larry's had a high killer win ratio is because of the fact that survivors just played worse there, because they didn't really understand the map. It's not like, so a lot of these maps, especially the indoor ones, since they're so unique, it takes longer to learn how to play them. So, like, it takes longer to play without getting lost, stuff like that. Whereas you have a traditional map, it's easier to memorize some of these locations because they spawn a lot of the same shit. So, fixing Larry's was probably their biggest mistake of the year, second only to Ruin's nerf, obviously. But what they did to Larry's is absolutely abysmal, and I hope they consider relooking at it again. Now, they did say taking their time. Yeah, they did. But it's like, you know what? I said this before, too. I would rather get a map that's reworked in a positive manner than get some Rust shitty rework that doesn't fix anything. So, I will go ahead and give that to them. I don't like giving things to Dead by Daylight developers, but again, I would rather them really look at Larry's. As long as they're planning to hit it in the future, I am okay with them taking their time on it. Here's the thing, I've never been an unfair person. I'm an angry player, to be sure, but I've never been unfair. If the devs tell me, okay, we're looking at Larry's, we understand we went overboard on Larry's. Larry's is now a shit map. We got it. We'll fix it. It might take time, but we'll fix it. If they just said that, I would let them go. For a little bit at least. I was getting impatient on the Doctor buffs that they announced in the summer and then didn't put out till January. I was getting a little impatient there. But if they tell me they're gonna do something, I will give them time to do it. I want them to keep me in the loop. I know it's weird for a killer main to talk about being kept in a loop, but if they just keep me in the loop, I'll be okay with them taking time. Just don't hide shit from us, dude. That's all I care about.
Alrighty. So an example of, oh, never mind. I'm skipping a question. Okay, so Godsend is asking, how come you didn't make any size change to Mother's Dwelling?
Okay, here we go. Size change to Mother's Dwelling. Another huge problem we all had with the patch was the no size change on Mother's Dwelling. So let's see what they say to this.
I probably should have read these answers a little bit more thoroughly before I came on the stream, shouldn't I? There's a quote for you.
Okay, so
stop laughing, you asshole.
Asked him
20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago, hey dude, can you fill in for Matt, please? So
it's fine. It's exactly that's why my Matt impersonation.
So bear with.
Stop fucking joking around, asshole.
Yeah, okay, so, again, channeling Matt, I won't scream at the camera anymore. Matt, if you're watching, I hope you approve. Yeah, so there's a few factors that contributed to the decision to not make any size changes to Mother's Dwelling. The first one is that, what does it say here? Oh, yeah, I'll just read his answers. Screw it. Yeah, we spaced the maze tiles, so we want to see the effects that small change alone. So
I got you.
There's already been a little bit of changing in there. It's sort of good to not do too many changes at once to make sure the things are doing what you want them to do. The stats show that the map is actually in the middle of the pack with respect to kill rates versus escape rates.
Oh God, you can't do that! You can't do that! You can't you can't just not factor rank into this equation, my guy.
So, statistically speaking, it's not in that bad a place. It's not sort of the squeaky wheel that needs the grease, as it were. We also don't want to make drastic changes too quickly, too many, too fast. This is just good game design, right? We need to... Don't talk to me about good game design, buddy. You don't got fucking... You barely have any good game design. A Dead by Daylight developer telling me about good game design is one of the funniest things I have ever heard in my life. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so... You can't just take the win rates of these maps at face value and call it a day. You can't do that. You have to see what is going on at the red ranks. What is going on with the best players. I've said this over and over and over and over again. The shitty players, fuck them. Fuck them. They're trash. You can't get good analysis by looking at yellow rank games. You can't. So if they're factoring in yellow ranks with the same factor as a red rank game, that's bullshit. In terms of a size change on Mother's Dwelling. Okay, this is their answer. Here's my theory to why they're not doing it. Here's my theory. These guys want big maps in the game. That's my theory. My theory is that they want big maps in the game. They don't want to limit themselves to a coal tower sized map, if you will. And you know what? I understand that. I like the idea of a big map on paper to play this game. I do. I like the idea of a big map on paper. The problem with big maps, though, is that the killer role isn't designed for them. They're really not. The killer role, how it works, is not really designed for big maps. Of course, some killers can do it, like Nurse, Spirit, Hillbilly. The top tiers have a way of doing it, but that's it. They're the only characters equipped to deal with it. So your solution is you have to either change the maps or buff every other character in the game to compensate for the big maps. You have to do that. If we're not, something has to be done to increase killer pressure. And of course, they're obviously taking the lazy way out by nerfing the maps. Which, I mean, yeah, they're taking the easy way out by nerfing the maps. But this is still an easy way out, I accept, because the maps have got to go.
The maps are bad, and part of fixing this game has always been fixing the maps. I like the problem with the maps discussions about this is like it's hard to figure out like how bad the maps are actually screwing you, because the gens, all you see are the gens flying boom 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 boom, and that pisses you off. It's like, why are the fuck are these gens flying so fast? Well, you have to look at it this way: the gens are flying so fast because you're not getting it down, and you're not getting it down because of bad map design. So if the map design became good map design, theoretically all these issues aren't going to be issues anymore. That's their theory, at least. That's their theory. Is it going to work? We're going to see, dude. Tuesday is a massive day for this game, because if these changes are good for the game, this is the direction we can keep going in the future. But if these changes don't work, then something else has to happen. These changes, the Tuesday determines the future of the game and which way we have to go to fix it. They're trying something that a lot of people were suggesting to fix the killers. But if this doesn't work, we're back to square one. However, if this works, we might have found our problem-solving solution. They're nerfing the gens a little bit, and then they're hitting the maps a ton. So it was either don't hit the maps a lot and hit the gens, or don't hit the gens and hit the maps. Okay? In terms of interactivity, everyone believes they're making the right decision. Like Scott Junn thinks they're making the right decision. I know he thinks they are. This is what he suggested would fix the game. You have to fix the maps. So this is a big day. This is a day where basically their philosophy is going to be against, like, it's the battle of the killers, essentially, because it's going to be pitting the people that say the maps are the problem versus the gens are the problem. Granted, they're nerfing both, but again, the gens have never been the issue. The gen speeds that they're hitting, they're still busted. They're still busted even after nerf. So if the maps are bad enough to where it's okay, then we can keep going in that direction. This is really, because my theory is that the gens are the problem. My theory has always been that the gens are the problem. But if this works, this is the, I'm not like some kind of guy that's like never going to be open to changing. If this patch works and I feel like I can control the gens now after the nerf, then we don't need to nerf the gens anymore. All I know is something has got to go in this game, and they're taking a lot of stuff out. Not every map is fixed. Oh God, no. Larry's is still going to be a problem, and Haddonfield is still going to be a problem with its gem placement. But we'll see. We'll see what this does.
One or two changes at once. Observe how those changes affect play and affect the stats.
So yeah, they want to see that if they just reduce the amount of tiles, they want to see if a big map can work. That's why they're leaving Mother's Dwelling in the way that it is. It's the big map that we all have the most experience with. It's the one we know how to play. They're leaving it in because they want to test to see if a big map can function with these new rules and restrictions that they're implementing. That's why they haven't given it a size change.
If you make too many changes at the same time...
This is all bullshit.
It can be hard to figure out which one of those changes took things too far. So it's better to kind of baby step one thing at a time in a trackable and understandable manner.
I mean, sure, that's how NRS is buffing Shao Kahn and nerfing Garrus. Understandable.
And the final bit is just, we can always tweak the map again later. I mean, just because we didn't tweak it this time doesn't mean that it's, set in stone and locked forever again.
That's what I'm worried about, actually. I'm worried they're going to undo some of these changes in the next patch.
Level designers have a lot of things on their plate. They have a lot of tasks in their backlog, but they get around to it when it becomes the thing that they think is going to give them the best bang for the buck.
Yeah, so basically it's a live game. Don't get attached too much with how things are. Things are bound to change, right?
Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Razblaze is asking, what is the map size range that you're hoping to have every or most maps shrunk down to? What's the sweet spot you're aiming for?
So the goal here is for level design is to define a size range for maps that's fun and balanced, but also needs to maintain an element of diversity. Obviously, if you have just a set of parameters, of statistics for these maps, and you follow them to a T, it's going to get kind of boring. If every
Okay, but let's talk about that. That's never been the appeal of this game, has been the maps. I don't think if you keep the maps at one size range, no one's going to give a shit. What you have to do to these maps for diversity is change the tiles. Why is there a TL at like every map? Why is Killer Shack at every map? That's what you do. That's what you do for diversity. The map size isn't diversity. The tiles are the diversity. The actual interaction between the two sides, that's the diversity. And right now, map size only contributes to a lack of interactivity between the two sides. It's the lack of the interaction. That's our problem with big maps right now. We don't have we don't have interactivity, bruh. That's what the problem with big maps. The diverse interactions on a big map is not having interaction. That's the problem. It's always been the problem. So, if you, I saw a video about this, how about you do some creative tile design? How about you make new tiles? How about that? Instead of just having a loop with a palette in the middle at every fucking map ever, how about you create some different fucking tiles? And have that be the diversity of your maps? How about that? Instead of just saying, oh, we want big maps for more diversity. Big maps suck. That's the reality. It's a harsh reality, I know. Big maps suck. The big maps suck dick. For the game, they always have. So you want some diversity, fucking have some creativity in your tile design. How about that?
Have the same size with very similar kinds of layouts and loop dynamics and all that kind of stuff. It'll get stale. Going from one map to another just becomes purely a visual change, and we want more than that, right? We want our maps to feel different and have a different gameplay feel to them. So
all of that can be accomplished by changing tiles. Literally all of that.
And we're going to keep looking at the stats of those smaller ones, the ones that we've kept on the smaller side, stats, and of course the feedback from viewers like you to know how we've done it.
Viewers like me.
All right, Vampire Rocks is asking, how are you going to address the dead zones? So basically,
dead zones,
spaces between maze tiles, where people seem to think
not yet. It's way too early to do that. See how they flow in the game.
So I mean, yes. There is a plan to address the dead zones. That is absolutely a thing on the plate. Have you noticed a trend in all of my answers so far? Yeah, we want to fix that. Well, it's gonna
okay, so these maps are gonna get buffed in the future, is what he's saying. So enjoy this while it lasts. Enjoy this while it lasts. All the necessary space in between the tiles that we have is not gonna be permanent already. They're already gonna get rid of it.
Currently, the tile diversity system that we use on the maps is not used on older maps, so the dead zones are more inconsistent. The newer maps are using a tile diversity system to keep things fresh and exciting, but the older maps don't have that running on them yet. So again, things on our plate, stuff we want to get implemented. We'll do it when we come around to it.
So they're gonna, those are gonna be addressed in some way. So the necessary dead zones that I've advocated for that are now gonna be in the game are gonna get taken out.
Cool.
If it's a weak tile, I guess if it's a really, really weak palette, I guess I won't give a fuck. If you're gonna take the dead zones out, you have to be able to make them dead zones with one play. Because we can't have the state of Dead by Daylight as it is right now needs to never happen again. This is one of those things that should be a relic of the past. We should talk about this a year later and go, wow, didn't that suck? Wow, that's whack when the game was horrible. Remember that? Yeah, that's what this needs to be. There shouldn't be any plans to don't sound like a Rosie. I don't sound like a Rosie. That's a high school nickname, my guy. Started playing this yesterday because you got the Game Pass. Welcome to the club, dude. We're fixing the game. You came at a good time because this game's being fixed right now.
Tunnel me, please.
Tunnel me, please. Wow, dude, that's a funny name. I've only seen that fucking 8 million times. Hey, survivors. Calling yourself Tunnel Me Please as your name isn't funny. It's not funny. We see it all the time. Hex Tunnel Me is not a funny name. I see it all the time. Alright, it's not funny. Please stop. It's not funny. It's not funny. Survivors. Calling yourself Hex Tunnel Me or Tunnel Me Harder or something like that is not funny. Okay? Thank you. I played as killer once. It was really hard. I can show you pointers, my friend. I can help you be a good killer. It will be easy.
Oh, I'm not gonna. Just I need to clear that up.
My answer is, if you want to. Anyways, will you continue to change the maps to be more balanced even after the mid-chapter patch, or is this a one-and-done thing?
Oh, it's definitely not a one and done thing. This was a big one.
Yeah, this was a big one for sure. But hopefully this means they're gonna hit Larry's in the future. Larry's needs to be relooked at, bro.
Done.
No one else needs to be relooked at. I keep having people's I keep hearing people say that the Bad Ham maps are actually fine. What the hell are you people smoking? The Bad Ham maps need to be relooked at as well. Way too many tiles, way too many buildings. You all are hedges, like fences. So many problems with those maps. Those need to be relooked at. As it is annoying to be as a survivor to spam LT. Try to be friend. There's a lot of annoying things in this game, friend. You'll find out.
We're not done with this overall, like we said.
Thank God.
And there's so much of this. We continually monitor the feedback from the fans, from the community, from the players, and even just our internal stat tracking and metrics, analytics and stuff like that. Like looking at the kill rates and whatever on the maps.
Dude, fuck that. You can't look at the kill rates because the kill rates are inaccurate. You can't look at the kill rates, especially at the low rank. You have to analyze red rank games. If you're not analyzing red rank games, what are you doing? It's still, you gotta trickle down balance, bro. You gotta trickle down balance. Okay, but anyway, problem with, what did he just say? He had something I wanted to address, but I forget what it was. What did he just say? New subscriber. Thanks, buddy boy.
From the fans, from the community, from the players, and even just our internal stat tracking and metrics, analytics.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but it's like, you know, a lot of people think that this is bad, like, a lot of survivors think this is bad for the game. This is not bad for the game, bro. If it ever goes too far, I will say it's going too far. For example, adding a breakable wall at Shack. I have never advocated for that. I don't think Shack needs a breakable wall. I don't think the Shack ever needs a breakable wall. I think the Shack is a perfectly balanced structure. The locations in this game should be no stronger than Shack. Shack is balanced, you can get the same mileage from it, but you can also get severely outplayed and look like a dumbass. That's how every structure in this game should be. Shack is perfect. I never wanted Shack to get any easier to deal with. I don't really...
In a while.
Sure.
But again...
This one's pretty big.
I told you guys, stop quoting me on things. I'm a terrible Matt Walker. I'm barely a good Patrick. So yeah, there will be more in the future. Don't worry about that. But I can't commit or comment on when or how big or anything like that.
His ex probably agrees with that.
I don't know how to say your name, man. Scyzosis?
What do we got here, bro?
I hope I didn't. I probably fucked it up. Anyways, why change so many maps at once? Are you guys going to start focusing on one specific area of the game for each patch from now on, or was this a one-time deal? But
in a way, they kind of did focus on one area. Well, they focused on 2 major areas. Actually, 3. Well, they actually did a lot this patch. But this patch was about getting god loops out of the game, for the most part. The biggest changes to these maps were getting the god loops out, size reduction, and tile spacing. All 3 of these, I think, needed to come in together. I really do. I really think all 3 of the changes that they hit right now really did need to come in together. Because if they didn't, like, survivors would have bitched. Bitch. They would have just bitched about one of these changes. So this is, in my opinion, this is ripping the band-aid off. Let's say we're taking your god loops, we're taking your size, and we're taking your tile spacing all in the same patch. Get over it or quit. It's like that. I think that's the way we needed to do it.
It's a little related question, but it's not totally the same thing.
Yeah, so again, channeling our good friend Matt here.
Shut up.
He says that we identified an opportunity to address the infinite loops after the Stranger Things chapter, and we fixed as many of them as possible.
Sure.
We saw a way to do it, and we fixed as many as we could. We decided to release...
We saw a way to do it. How long did it take you to see that the infinite loops were a problem? Jesus Christ. All you had to do was take out the door? All you had to do was take out the window and add a door? How long did it take? These people, bruh.
Tweaks along with the infinite loop update to see how players.
What the hell was that?
Changes, so we can scope and prioritize them in the future. So if y'all like the changes,
yes, please.
Be vocal about it. Be nice. I know it's weird.
Be nice.
Be loud and nice. That's usually the opposite of how these things work.
Be nice. You don't know me very well, do you, bruh? I'm not here to be nice. I will say the nicest thing you get from me is this is the least bad thing you've done all year. How about that? That's what you get from me.
About it. Be positive, because that helps us know that these sorts of changes are appreciated, and it helps us go like, all right, maybe we should put more of these in the future.
Yeah.
So much.
This is the least bad thing you've done all year. I will say that. I thank you for doing something not bad. What a lovely state of the game that's what I get to thank developers for. Why does it take so long to matchmake? Are you on Killer or Survivor? Are you on Killer or Survivor, my guy? I can answer that for both.
Alify is asking, why did you have holes next to the strong window instead of breakable wall?
And again, here we go. I'm gonna pretend to be Matt.
Okay, I'm actually worried about this. They said, why did you add holes instead of breakable walls? My theory is that those holes are going to become breakable walls in the future. So let's see what they say to this.
I'll get Matt here. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you have to do a lot of
I want them to stand their ground on this, but they're not. They won't.
Try not to show off my marvelously sweaty pits. All right, here we go. I'm at home. It's cold outside, but it's hot here.
I'm anticipating this.
That is going to be the next step. Okay, there we go. There's my.
Told ya.
I'm just really excited.
I told ya.
Concerts with Matt. He's a good guy. We'd like to see the effects of the holes on the balance of the maps before we introduce the breakables in those locations.
Sure.
And as I said prior, the intention is to put breakables all over the place, right? When we get there, so we need to look at how the holes work first, because the unbreakables are a little bit more question mark when it comes to their effects right now compared to the other things that we understand a bit better. But that doesn't mean it's off the table. Might be seeing those breakables soon.
Okay, but so yeah, basically my prediction is accurate, as it always is. My predictions are usually pretty good. Survivor, you're not seeing Q as Survivor because a lot of killers quit after the game got horrible, and so most of the killers that are your rank, you said you got this game yesterday, so you're probably at a low rank right now. The killers that are at your rank are busy playing the color above them, which is why you're not seeing very many games. Because there's a trickle-down effect that happens from the red ranks to your rank. If you're a brown rank, if you're a brown rank killer, you're probably going to be playing a lot of yellow rank survivors, because all the yellow rank killers that would be playing those yellow rank survivors are busy playing the green ranks, because the green rank killers are busy playing the purple rank survivors, because the purple rank killers are busy playing the red rank survivors. There's a trickle-down effect. The killers kill you so quick. You're just new, but you'll learn how to do it. You just gotta learn how to loop. Just watch. It comes with knowledge and experience. Once you start knowing how to loop structures, it'll be a lot easier for you. Right? It's just hard right now. It's hard right now, but once you figure it out, it's actually easy.
Marcus is asking, will there be more map reworks like Badham and Larry's?
Yes, please.
Lots of concentration on one map, or will you only tweak multiple maps in one update, like the mid-chapter patch?
This one's tricky because the answer from Matt here just says redacted in big bold text. I don't know, guys. I guess that one
redacted.
That one's off in the ether here.
Matt came through for us, guys.
Yeah, I cannot add anything to this. Really would have needed on that. All right.
Yeah, not.
Sorry
not
about that.
Trying to catch me out on this one. I ain't even doing it.
All right, and Valdi is asking, when making any drastic changes such as map adjustments, do you look at strictly feedback from the community or staff?
I mean, both. Right, we do listen to community feedback. It's super useful to understand how people feel about things.
Yeah.
In combination with stats. And this is just good game design,
this is just great game design. It's great game design to nerf Ruin when it's underperforming at red ranks. It's underperforming where the best survivors. So you can't just tell the low ranks to get good, but you have to nerf Ruin. Yeah, great game design, guys.
You have to look at the stats. You have to look at community feedback.
Oh yeah, and like I said, those red rank stats are looking horrible right now for Killer. Red rank stats are looking really bad right now. The average red rank kill rate is probably 1.5 would be my guess. 1.5 is probably the average red rank killer kill rate right now. Seriously, you think I'm lying to you? That's probably the average kill rate right now, so they knew they had to do something.
Communities will really hate a change or hate an element of the game, and then when you look at it statistically, you'll be like, well, that seems perfectly balanced. But the truth is that if y'all don't like the game, we're still failing, right? We want you to have fun. It's not enough to just balance the stats. We also need the perception to be positive and for you to have fun.
And that's why they nerfed Ruin, because survivors weren't having fun! It's all about fun, guys. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Fun gameplay. It's about fun. See, it was perfect. Ruin was fine, but it wasn't fun. That's... oh, God, bruh. What's fun? Gen rushing's not fun, bruh.
While you play the game. The inverse is also true. If everybody's having a great time with something, but it's soul-crushingly unbalanced, well, we gotta go in and use our judgment and figure out a way to fix the balance without effing up the fun. So.
Well, see, that's what you just said is why you need to buff. What you just said is why you need to buff Myers. Seriously, what you just said is why Myers needs a buff. Seriously, bro. You know, the survivors' favorite killer to go against is Michael Myers. What does that tell you about Michael Myers? What does that tell you? Oh, Myers is here. I'm gonna have such a great game. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah, that means Myers needs a buff. Can't just trust survivors when they say something's fun to go against. If survivors are having fun when they see a killer, that's a really bad sign. That's a really bad sign. There's a reason why killers groan whenever they see one of your awful maps. It's because we know that it's horribly unbalanced and the survivors are going to abuse it because you designed it to horribly fuck us in the ass. So when survivors go, oh, pig, this will be a piece of cake, that's a problem, bruh. That's a problem. It's not that it's fun. Oh, Myers, this will be a fun game. Yeah, because you can gen rush and teabag him because he needs buffed. Terrible.
So the answer is, why not both?
Both is good.
Both is good. Alright. Okay, so we're jumping on chain of 8 questions. So I guess that's going to be a little bit more for Ethan. So, Cheers TC is asking, upon the release, Gearhead got nerfed.
Yeah.
What were the main
what the fuck was that about? I'm actually curious about this.
You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why the fuck was Gearhead nerfed?
Set up right. Okay. Based on our observations, we felt the active durations of the too long, giving too much information. We also gave an out to the survivors, rewarding the great skill checks. This was an answer from the...
What did he just say? Duration of Gearhead too long, Gearhead too broke. That's why nobody runs Gearhead ever. And nobody would have ran it, TBH. The problem with Gearhead, ladies and gentlemen, is it doesn't tell you the right information. Survivors on a generator is something you can just assume is happening. It's when that there's 2 or more that's when it's a big issue. That's why Discordance is way better than Gearhead. And Discordance also doesn't have an activation condition. That helps. If survivors go on a gen together and you're getting hit by busted generator times, there you go. Barbecue and Discordance do what Gearhead does better. And you don't have to set them up. They just are working. As Barbecue goes off when you down somebody, and Discordance works as soon as they try to hit you with anything broken. It literally helps, bruh. Gearhead isn't doing anything necessary. I don't think, at least.
Yeah. So from Guillaume, the designer that designed the killer. Alright. Demonly, will Deathslinger get any changes soon?
No. Or besides a buff.
We can't really comment on when we're going to make specific changes to specific killers beyond the current release. Obviously, if we're looking at feedback on firms, or we're looking at statistics that come in through the analytics, if we see that there are some things that need to be addressed, we will. But I can't comment further than that at this moment.
Okay, so nothing's happening to Shitslinger. He's still going to be just as bad as before.
So basically, unless it is in the next patch, we can't really talk about it.
Does anybody wiggle free? You'd be surprised, my guy. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Okay, Swiftblade 131. Are there any plans to make Deathslinger a 4.6 meter per second movement speed instead of 4.4?
No.
Okay.
I'll answer this for you now.
One of the issues we have with Deathslinger and similarly the Huntress is that Dead by Daylight is fundamentally a melee game. And these two killers have ranged attacks. And so
does Plague and Clown!
You have to do is look at the radius in which a killer is effective and the Range killers have much wider effective radiuses, so we need to look at their move speed, and in the case of Huntress and Deathslinger, it means that they need to move at a lower speed.
No, in the case of Huntress, it means that she has to move. Huntress' lethality rate is way bigger than Deathslinger's. Like, Huntress can literally down you in 5 seconds. Slinger can't do that. Shit Slinger can't do that. This would be perfectly warranted, but just, you never even tried it. You never even tried it. Like these developers think, oh, well, that would be too good. You never even gave it a chance, bruh. You never... How about Demogorgon? His lunges means he has a big effective radius. Like, bruh.
That's sort of the high level of it. Here's what Guillaume has to say, the guy who designed the killer. We believe he's at the right speed considering the strength of his power, his range...
Oh yeah, his power's great.
...delay when shooting, and having infinite inventory. We also know from early playtests that increasing his speed makes his power less appealing to choose over chasing. At the current moving speed, there is a meaningful choice to make in order to catch a survivor. So the short version is...
Oh yeah, because 115 baseline killer's so good right now. It's great. It's great. It's great. If I was Huntress and I could move at 115, I would never throw a hatchet again, man. Hatchets are bad, bro. I'd never throw a hatchet again if I could just get looped the same way Myers does. Do you hear yourself talk, kid?
Faster. His power is less attractive because you can just catch up and hit him. So it makes you use the gun more often if he's not moving as fast.
All right. Casual console player is asking, can you revert the recent change to aim sensitivity while aiming downside with Deathslinger, or make a new ADS sensitivity setting?
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Guillaume, did it change it back in the coming update? Not a revert, but now it's what it's...
Deathslinger garbage.
So the version that went out...
if what I'm saying is true... about higher rank killers going against lower rank survivors, then it's unfair. No, it's the other way around. Well, I mean, yeah. High rank is one. Like, the lower numbers are the higher rank. It's the lower rank killers are going against the higher rank survivors. How can they get new players if it's team stacked? Great question, my guy. That's the thing we're all wondering, and the devs just won't address it. They just won't address it, bruh. If Survivor ever played against noob killers, they won't... When you play sweats, you get better at the game. But, bruh, I disagree with that position. I just disagree with that. Like, there is a reason why if I went on right now and played Sonic Fox at Mortal Kombat, I wouldn't fucking learn anything. There's, like, seriously. There is a reason that wouldn't happen. Like, if the gap is too big, you don't learn anything when you play against somebody. That's why, like, everyone telling me I should just get good with Nurse by playing against red ranks. Like, no. I want to learn Nurse by playing against yellow ranks. I don't want to just get Gen Rush for 4 minutes and I didn't learn anything from playing Nurse. I die a lot more than I escape. Well, yeah, because at the beginning you die a lot because, number one, the team faction only gets played really effectively at the higher ranks, my guy. And when you play at the lower ranks, the team faction is not being... The team faction isn't being played correctly. It might not even be something you're doing. My advice to you at the low ranks is concentrate on yourself. Make sure you get a generator done. Make sure you get 1 or 2 saves. Maybe try to hit the killer with one pallet. Then you'll be alright. Just keep getting out of the lower ranks so the team unit can be played better. It's the team unit. Once the team unit's played correctly, you'll understand why killer has no chance in this game. It's not Devon dying over and over, so people will not stick. Well, people... It's not the more killers are quitting than survivors, because once you find your footing, my guy, you're gonna have a hard time dying. That's a promise. DB don't have a skill guy. Oh yeah, it does. Dude, have you played rank 20 potatoes? I would love to play my Nurse against rank 20 potatoes to learn blink spacing. Rank 20s are so bad. There's even like, ugh. Should you stay with other survivors? Depends. Depends on how close the killer is to you. Is the killer near you? No. Grouping's really bad if the killer's right next to you. If the killer's not there and you're on a gen, get the hell on that generator. Stay on the gens with another survivor. If you're beginning, I would recommend perks like Deja Vu is a good beginner perk. Stuff to help you find stuff until you start memorizing where it is. That's my big advice.
Didn't work quite the way we had intended, and now we're fixing that and making it work properly.
Exactly. I don't think there's going to be a...
I want them to talk about perk changes. That's what I want them to talk about. I think that's the last thing.
The ADS sensitivity by itself from users.
Not in the coming patch, although, yeah. There's a growing contingent of hardcore FPS.
Deja Vu, I'm not going to sit here and say Deja Vu is like meta. It's not meta at all. But I'm saying in terms for a new player, it's a good perk. For a new player, you can do it, like, you'll be able to find where gens are. That's why Deja Vu is a good beginner perk. It's just, you have to actually, like, figure out where stuff is. I wish I'd run Deja Vu more as a low rank.
Players on the team who are shaking their fists at that, so who knows? No promises, as always, but,
Alright. So, Avon Fallon is asking, what was the thought process behind the add-on change where survivors lose their add-ons when they escape, considering that survivors get less blood point and...
Less blood points?
Bonus blood point compared to killer, and have 3 times as many items and add-ons than killer.
The add-ons were always meant to be a consumable item.
Yeah.
Once we changed the items such that if it has 0 charge, you still get to keep them, even more add-ons were being kept from match to match. So it made more sense with what we had intended originally for the idea of an add-ons.
It's just consistency. It's just consistency. Why can't killers keep their shit on wins?
You're running out of them and you can't afford to buy more. That's as intended. We did not intend that you would always have access to that during a match. That's the way it works for the killer, and that's the way it will work for the survivor.
Exactly. That's the way it works for killer. You guys shouldn't get that extra boost.
Mario is asking, why did you change the aura reading of Ingman's trick after the PTV?
This perk was meant to facilitate reading when a survivor is hiding near a hook to sabotage it as you're on your way to the hook.
Talking about Hangman's trick.
Yeah.
Well, Hangman's trick.
Yeah, exactly.
Or prepare a blind or anything.
Yes.
But near the hook. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Infectious Sprite's
16
better at
meters
that.
isn't really what I would call near the hook. And what it ended up doing is just...
16 meters isn't near the hook? Then why the fuck is there a camping penalty for 16 meters, you fucking clown? 16 meters near the hook, there's a camping penalty. If 16 meters... That's what you should do. If 16 meters... The camping penalty should just be in line with Hangman's trick. You want camping penalty, makes Hangman's trick better. Fucking... These developers think we're stupid, bruh. They think we're fucking stupid. The devs think we're so fucking dumb, bro. Dude, there's a 16-meter camping penalty for killers. What the fuck you mean that's not near the hook? What a shitty fucking excuse. Terrible.
So much of the map that it was not doing what it was intended to do, so we reduced it.
Alright.
Terrible.
Mikey for...
It's not doing what it was intended to do. Now you can't see survivors at all with the fucking thing. It's trash.
What was the inspiration behind the Death Slinger and a Western-themed DLC?
Oh, God. Fucking barf on my face, bro. Anybody have a better question for me?
The idea of having a killer with gun around, once we saw the art treatment,
gun in DVD, I don't know. And once I saw it, all that melted away.
Some of them already do have that in the main.
My dad. Which one? Oh, yeah, Dr. Trout's.
Here we go.
Will each killer eventually be given their own wall break animation?
Some of them already do have that in the mid-chapter, and as time goes on and we find time to update these things, it's on the list. It's something
Myers should just walk through the walls.
To normalize across the game, but it's a lot of work, and we have to make sure that we're prioritizing it.
What's your favorite flavor of pie? I don't like pie, bruh. Tuesday is good. I hope so, dude. Tuesday is going to be a big day for this game, as I said.
Actually,
Tuesday determines the game's future, for sure.
I remember that some animation were going through the wall and stuff like that, so that was fixed for the mid-chapter. But yeah, as you say, like, a work in progress. Continuing. Okay, so that one's the one I jumped.
Oh, fucking sip your water, ass clown.
Slinger. The Shape 13 TDZ is asking about the inspiration for the Deathslinger weapon.
Jesus.
It feels very cool.
Stop asking stupid questions.
We're emphasizing that aspect of the weapon.
Alright. That big dog.
Are there any...
Dead Dog Saloon.
There you go.
Okay, they're asking about those insufferable bushes on Deathslinger's map, the kind that Meg can blend in. You don't even need Claudette for it. So let's see what they say here.
That big dog.
Dead Dog Saloon.
There you go. You can get your freaking...
Are there plans to change the bushes?
At the moment, you can easily blend with bushes if you have a dark outfit. There you go.
We're collecting feedback and data about this map over the next few months to see what adjustments are necessary. We're aware that this can happen, and we want to make sure that we do the right thing when the time comes to make an adjustment here. So we're just collating information at the time that issue.
Okay, so they're going to change those bushes, I think is what they just said. So those bushes won't be in the game forever. Thank God. Those bushes are irritating.
Sorry, I just saw the Deathslinger shot through the clown area, so that was pretty good. Anyways,
just play DVD for donations, yeah?
It's for the footage.
That's all they play this game for now, dude.
Spam.
Spam and Gustosh.
Yeah, okay. Why are the survivors notified when Dead Man's Switch is active? The intent of the perk is to make them get off gens in order for gens to be blocked.
Here's an answer from the person who just...
Why is Dead Man's Switch a bad perk?
Survivors are only meant to be notified when they let go of the generator, which gets blocked. It is to let them know you have your thing over. There you go.
Why?
Let them know why the generator got blocked suddenly. They should not be notified when the perk is active. If they are, that would be a bug.
Yeah. So, answer the question. It's a bug.
I mean, okay,
Right.
Whatever. I don't care about that. No, that's a bad perk. No one's ever gonna run it.
How long had you guys been planning a killer like Deathslinger?
Jesus.
Oh,
The golden toolbox.
okay.
The Golden Dual Box?
Yes, there is a hint.
Yes.
The golden toolbox.
That is 100% Matt answer.
Yes.
It's gotta.
Alright, so going on to mid-chapter questions. And
Come on, people. Give me something good. I want to see some perk changes.
I took note of a couple of things.
Buff Legion, buff Legion, buff Legion.
Discuss after, but yeah, if you guys want to know how we select the question, it's basically we have Q&A
You know how many buff Legions are in the chat right now?
posts and forums before the stream, and then we gather all the information to answer the questions, and here we are. So that's how we collect the questions. So let's go with mid-chapter questions, unless I forgot anything.
Come on, guys. Talk about these
Nicholas
perks.
is asking, why did you feel it was necessary to accelerate the end of the match when everyone is in the struggle phase?
All right. This was something.
Why is the game end when everyone's in struggle phase?
Worked on. It was a suggestion we had from.
Yeah,
Who
well,
cares, bruh?
We want that skill, the skill of hitting a great skill check, to give you some benefit, but it was amounting to large chunks of times.
Why are you encouraged to nerf
RNG
repair
flagged out. We gave
efficiencies?
Tons of skill checks on a single gen. You know those times where you get a skill check like every 3 seconds? It can happen if you hit every grade. You end up getting humongous amounts of bonus time.
Yeah. Let's see, what is that? If you were to hit, when there's 3 gate skill checks in a row, okay, and you, like, pretend there's 2 survivors on a gen, so the gen already takes 44 seconds, both survivors get 3 gate skill checks, and so that's 1.6 second bonuses times 6, they just shaved off a 10 seconds on that generator. 9.6 is what that multiple is. So, like, there's a way for SWF to shave off 10 seconds from a 44-second repair time. And you don't think repairing needed nerfed in this game? And we're still having that conversation. Are you serious? Now, if the survivors do that, it should only give them about half of that. So divided by 2, now their buff will only be 4.8 seconds to 44 seconds. Okay, that's still bad, but it's still it's not a full 10 seconds anymore. They can't shave it down to 34 seconds. Jesus. 44 seconds maximum, bro. Just terrible, bro. Just fucking awful. These repair times. Ugh, there was never 3 great skill checks every 3 seconds. I mean, sometimes there was, bruh. If you want to even be generous, like, it could still, even if that didn't happen in a row. Pretend two survivors on a generator got 3 great skill checks in the span of 44 seconds. That means they all hit greats. They shaved off 10 seconds on that gen, and you didn't think repairs needed to be taken away in this game.
We wanted gen times to be more consistent with regard to the skill check frequency fluctuations, and did not feel that they needed to be longer than 80 seconds by default.
80 seconds is not the problem.
Repair efficiencies. This was also intended as an adjustment to repair times without increasing the default time of 80 seconds.
It's not about increasing the default time when you're talking about when you are talking about survivors on a generator, all right, 2 survivors. We're not talking about a base generator time of 80 seconds. I'm talking that base time is now 80 to 44. 44. It's not about increasing the 80 base gen time. The time that needs an extra 10 to 12 seconds added onto it is that 44 seconds. That's the time that has got to go. That's the time that is utter trash. For sure. For sure.
Has the useful effect of slowing down the first gen in those cases where survivors spawn together and all jump on the same gen at the very beginning of a match. These changes aren't large, so if you've got 3 people who jump on a gen at the start of a match and you look at the times, they didn't change more than, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to say because everybody will yell at me for not knowing. But I'll admit, I don't know the exact numbers, but they're not big.
Yeah, I know.
It's just meant as a slight tweak to that.
That's the problem. They're not big. They're not big changes, bro. That's the problem.
You don't remember the numbers, you're off the team.
I know. Dave called me yesterday. He said, if you don't know the numbers, you're fired.
Dave Richards is in no position to fire anybody. Okay? Dave Richards needs to go fuck himself. Dave Richards. What a complete ass clown that guy is, bro. We're still talking about Dave Richards? Why am I still wasting energy on this guy? Dave Richards needs to go fuck himself.
You don't know everything by heart all the time?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, man.
You don't know much of anything, do you?
Sorry, game designer you are.
Yeah. Because we don't have that much content. You should be able... Okay.
There's only 1 or 2 numbers in the game.
Alright, okay, so basically there was a question in chat here asking what's the difference between efficiency and time.
God! Oh. What kind of rank, how many more rank 20 questions are we gonna answer tonight? Dave Richards, he's a fucking scumbag, bro.
The time is how long it takes to do the...
Well, moving bloodlust, we're gonna talk about that.
In all circumstances, you're getting 1 charge per second. That's
we know how efficiency works, bro.
Terror radius and it makes you less.
I want to talk about bloodlust.
At the moment, we have no plans to remove bloodlust. Feature seems to be working well. It does what it's intended to do. And if the concern is, I mean, one of the concerns is if I can loop this killer forever, he needs to learn how to play to eventually get me. Well, fundamentally, Dead by Daylight is about a killer killing people, and...
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that shit, guys? They're not moving bloodlust! And then they're talking down the survivors saying killers just need to get good! What is this? What is this?
So we want survivors to feel some kind of impending pressure.
Yes!
And...
What the hell's wrong with that?
If it takes that killer 45 seconds... and his bloodlust bonus to down you every time,
you're gonna win the game.
I think that match is really gonna go that well for the killer.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think it has as large an impact on the outcomes of matches as some people think it does.
Thank God.
Well, as far as
Let's go, Ethan. You hear Ethan, guys? Ethan's the man. I like Ethan. Ethan just told it how it was, bruh. Ethan just told it how it was. Just escape and left someone on hook. Do it again, bruh.
Last time we checked this.
Those guys at low rank are not your friends. You need to concern yourself with high ranks.
That's on Bloodlust. It was close to like most of the hits or the final of the finish of the chase was when Bloodlust 1 was hitting. Most of it, the bulk of it. So yeah, obviously you have your killers that will get to Bloodlust 3 and be a freaking train, but it's more often than ever just at the time or when the Bloodlust 1 hits.
It's a metaphor for the...
So yeah, they're saying Bloodlust isn't really doing anything, which is something I've always said. I've always said that. Oh, you like my passion? Thank you. I wish more people complimented me on my passion for this awful game. No, but seriously though, I've always said that Bloodlust wasn't actually doing anything. If you were seeing Tier 3 Bloodlust, you were getting your ass kicked. So fucking losers, bruh. Fucking losers telling me, oh, Bloodlust is too good. Bruh, if you're seeing Bloodlust 3 consistently, you're getting gen rushed. That's what's happening to you. Terrible. Or it's the end of the game and you've won already, and you're just trying to, but you gotta get the Bloodlust 3 on this guy.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, you can on that one.
They're not removing Bloodlust, fuck yeah!
That was a good one.
We talk about Bloodlust.
So Bloodlust is safe, but Slowdown Synergy I still think is not. Come on, where's that question?
What do you guys wish you could have added, but didn't have the time to complete in the upcoming update?
Okay, sure.
There were a few updates to maps that we had hoped to get in that we couldn't.
Good.
There were a couple of
Blood Lodge
changes that didn't fit in. It all depended on, what all we had to do in the highest priorities. So yes, there were a couple of things that fell out, but because they fell out and they haven't been announced, I can't tell you what they are.
Right. Okay. Shame.
We have a big backlog of things that a lot of people on the team, oh man, it would be great, or suggestions that we heard, or things that we really want to make happen.
Sure. Whatever. Come on, speed this up.
The whole process, and that takes time.
Yep.
And sometimes, like, I know I've done this, I'm sure Ethan's done this a few times too, we spend a while thinking really hard about either design changes, or new features, or just cool additions to the game. We write up a nice big detailed design document.
Shut up,
we
you
finish
clown.
reading and go, wow, this is fantastic, and there are
Silly question, how can you tell your rank? It's the number in the, it's this number right here, my friend. It's the colored number on the top right of the screen. The lower that number is, the like that you want to get it as low as possible, I guess. The low rank killers are the higher numbers. High ranks are the lower numbers. Rank reset was 10 days ago, so I haven't gotten back to rank 1 yet. I don't know. I was trying to get all my grind in to get back to rank 1 next week. So I haven't really played much. So that's why I'm not at rank 1 yet, but I'll get there. I'll get there again. But that's how you do it. Green is 12, yeah.
much more
12 is green,
more
yeah.
pressing matters to deal with. We only have so many hours in the day, so many people on the team, right? We don't have infinite resources. We do have to pick and choose the things that we think will.
No, these were on paper. This is a very good patch.
You guys have the most fun. We'll shore up issues that you have, and yeah, if we have a problem where, on the one hand, something is horribly broken in the game, on the other hand, we've
Metal Man.
We're gonna shift resources to fix that horribly broken thing.
Metal Man.
Maybe next patch.
Cough, cough, Metal Man.
There's a couple of questions that went around the matchmaking here. Just because it's not on the list, I think we should still maybe.
Oh, we're talking about matchmaking.
Yeah, with the
lightning round. Okay.
Matchmaking. All right, it's nice. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Yeah, because also this is more his stuff.
Yeah,
you guys see him light up there? He's like, this is my turf, matchmaking.
I don't have to pretend to be Matt anymore. This really is Matt.
Shut up, Patrick. Tell us what's going on.
Alright, so this is Patrick explaining about where we are with matchmaking right now.
Fuck off, Patrick.
We're doing a lot of stuff, guys.
Dude, his eyes just... dude, he's really excited to tell me about his horrible matchmaking. Alright, Patrick, what do you got for me, asshole?
I'm trying to think of what I can talk about, what I can't talk about. Mainly, we are monitoring. We've done a whole bunch of really cool analytics on how the matchmaking system works.
Okay, buddy boy.
And
so remember, what we're talking about here is we're talking about the MMR system. This is the thing that needs to be in the game, like, now. So hopefully this is going to be out before summer.
we did a blog post or a dev post about this a little while ago. Yeah, so we're going to be.
In chat. Give me a second.
That's a good
MMR and
idea.
batch matchmaking
Stuff that we talked about in there, but the long and short of it is that we're looking at using a different metric than ranks for matching people together. Ranks is a cool mechanic. I like it, but it's not great for catching a lot of the fringe of player skill.
Yeah, because the way that it's designed is horrible. That's why it doesn't accurately reflect skill, because the way it's designed is horrible. How do you determine who's good and skillful? Who's winning the game? It's really not hard. I shouldn't be getting entity displeased as Deathslinger. This happened to me today on the Switch. I shouldn't be getting entity displeased as Deathslinger when I killed 3 people at Haddonfield, and the last guy gets out barely through the exit gate after I close the hatch. Like, because if I had 5% more movement speed, I would have been able to get over there and actually do something. But you know, whatever, dude. Whatever. I didn't have enough skill to win it. Even though I wanted Haddonfield, I still got entity displeased.
It makes actually a bunch of people have not so great games. It's not a great way for us to create balanced games. So we're developing a new metric, a new rating system to use to measure people's skill, so we can put them together in games that we feel are more fair.
MMR, buddy.
An example of something that the current ranking system doesn't handle very well is this guy, actually. I get to be selfish and say that I have problems with matchmaking when I play, because I tend to play tests a lot with the kind folks at work. Ethan has, I've killed Ethan a few times in the game. Ethan has killed me many more times in the game and in real life.
Shut up, Patrick. You're not funny, Patrick.
Than I am. So I am not terrible at Dead by Daylight, let's say. I'm not going to pretend that I'm a rank 1, but I'm definitely not a rank 20. When you play against the game designers all the time, you tend to get pretty good at it. So, but the problem is I don't play on my personal account terribly often. Sure. Because I'm usually playing at work. And what this means is my personal account is sitting at rank 20 all the time. I just don't log enough hours to push that rank up. And what that means is I end up playing against a bunch of people who are also rank 20. And not only is it awful that I win, right? I play killer, I'm getting 4Ks and getting 3Ks all the time. Yeah. It's just not fair, and I acknowledge that. It's also not fun for me. It's not fun to go in match after match and just totally dominate. It really isn't. Like, the goal of a matchmaking system is to... That's
why I don't understand why survivors are happy with where the game's at. Like, how fun is it to go in over and over and over again and consistently have no challenge? Like, you know what, it might be, it's fun to turn on God mode every now and then and just run rampant. But, eventually it's like, God damn it, somebody throw a pallet on me, Jesus.
Similar skill as you. And so that's the focus of what we're trying to do. Ranking system just doesn't handle that at a lot of extremes. So we're trying to develop a system that will do more for that. And in terms of the actual progress of it, it's coming along well. We've got a lot of math. It's very fancy. I won't tell you what it is. Trade secrets, blah blah blah. Mostly because I don't have a whiteboard to write the formulas on for you. But
I don't need your formulas, pal.
We're doing a lot of that work, and we're doing small tests in limited fashions on select servers. We're not telling you when they're happening. Too bad. So we can just see if we're dramatically impacting the amount of time it takes to find matches.
Okay, so they're actually putting them in the game. That's interesting. Some select servers are actually seeing the new matchmaking mechanic already in. You just don't know that it's in or not. Okay.
Right.
That's
obviously,
weird.
If we're doing these things and you're finding matches faster, that's great. That's what we want. We want you to find matches so much faster. We want those matches to be balanced. So you can expect to see some more matchmaking changes coming in the not-so-distant future. I don't have any dates for them. One nice thing is that we have set up over the last while this technology to not require, as far as we know, don't quote me on that, as far as we know, shouldn't require client patches. This should be something we're doing all on the back end, all with our matchmaking servers. So when this happens, we won't need to tie it to a patch release or anything like that. We'll just be like, this matchmaking system works great. get it live. We'll make an announcement, and you'll all be on the nice, fancy new matchmaking. And once we get there, I'll follow up just to cut you off.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, because I'm a big jerk, as we've already established. But once that happens, then we're going to focus more on, like, okay, cool, we're not using ranks anymore. What are they good for?
Nothing.
And do something cool and interesting with ranks as a follow-up. But the priority
Sure.
here, really, we've heard you guys loud and clear. The priority is get you into matches faster and get you into better quality.
Once rank is completely optional to care about, I'm not going to give a shit
So the
anymore.
follow-up question for me is, okay, that's cool, you're testing things right now, but why do I still see the rainbow ranks right now, currently, when I'm playing the game?
There's a few reasons for seeing rainbow ranks. One is that we do constantly have that fight against how long it takes to find a match versus how balanced the match is. And the general aim that I have here is the DBD, while it is a competitive game, while I am definitely...
So Deb just acknowledged this game is competitive. Let's laugh at that real fast. If this is a competitive game, set up a tournament, asshole.
Competitive player, and I know there's a lot of you out there too. You know, this isn't an East either. So we allow for a greater range of skills to come together in one match, and we're okay with doing that if it means that we're speeding up the matchmaking times. And so we've extended the rank range a fair bit over the last year to try to...
Did you hear that, my friend, Mr. Martin? That's why that is a basic summary of what I told you. They expanded the map, the range of ranks you can find the longer you're sitting in queue. That's why there's such a big disparity. That's why you see red rank survivors going up against purple rank killers. That's why you see that. Because the red rank survivors are sitting in queue for a long time, so it expands their rank until they hit purple rank killers, and that just has an effect that goes down to where you're at.
Quickly. There's also a few hiccups in the system and a few weird fringe cases that cause rainbow ranks to happen. One that I know of that's has a good reason behind it is if the matchmaking system finds a match of people and then one of those people disconnects or bails on the game or just has a connection issue that prevents them from joining the match, router is all messed up or what have you, that match was considered complete and is now incomplete, and we need a new player or two or three even sometimes to fill those spots. When we do that backfill, we massively increase the acceptable rank difference just because we've gone, oh no, you guys are supposed to be playing now and you're not because there's not enough people. Just get a body in there. Get this game going. You've already waited long enough. I'd rather not tell you that you need to go back, to the back of the line and start that wait again. So I want to get you into a match, and that's kind of the trade-off that we have there.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested into like,
my biggest advice for that is don't bring keys, survivors. Don't bring keys. If you don't want to kill it to lobby dodge you and then you get unfair matches, don't fucking bring a key.
you know, process behind this. Again, we had like a really good text blog post about matchmaking posted early January. We're still at the testing phase right now, but again, when we're ready to go live with that new thing, ranks will not be considered for matchmaking anymore. So that's
thank God.
The matchmaking things.
Rank is going away. Thank God.
Well, the game being asymmetrical, that actually has an impact.
MMR can't get here fast enough, bro.
And also the time that you're playing and the region you're in also has a big impact, because it can be, you know, the higher number during the day. I think we hit the peaks on PC around 10 in the morning.
Okay.
Which means that
that's because this game is more popular overseas, which is why you see those big DBD times earlier in the morning, I believe. Because over there it's kind of later, isn't it?
And
the genre is more popular in Asia than it is here.
There's so many people playing right now. Why is it long for me to get in the match? Well, maybe it's because it's not the peak for North America, for example. These are things that are also impacting greatly on matchmaking. Pat, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, you are very correct. We actually, I was making a little bit of an error.
Are we getting perk changes or what, people? That's why I'm still watching this shit.
Looking at charts for like the number of survivors in the
7 a.m. seems to be good. Get a quick match. 7 a.m. dude. Wow.
In a perfect world, there would always be 4 times as many survivors in the queue as there are killers, and everyone would be happy. And we'd look at the global stats and see how many survivors versus killers were in the queue, and I was like, I don't get it. It seems pretty good, like all day long. Why are people waiting so much? And then I started using our stats to filter by server and by region and by time zone, and suddenly
by rank,
the actual day-night
by rank.
It's interesting when you look at DBD on a global level, because of the time zone shift around the world, the peaks in some areas. If you add them,
I don't doubt that what he's saying has an impact on it. I don't, but I still think rank is something that they have to filter in more than they do
in other areas, and so the overall chart looks fine. It's only once you start digging into the individual pockets that you start seeing those imbalances, and it's these are the kinds of challenges that we have, right? There's so much data, and it's such a global phenomenon where people are playing.
Don't make your game sound better than it is, bro.
It's easy to forget that, you know, it might be coming up on 3 o'clock where I'm sitting right now, but it's you know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Someone else is having a different experience with the game than I am right here on the East Coast of North America.
Alright, thank you for that.
Come on, perk changes, let's go.
We had a couple of things about rank update error. We're still working on that one. I know it's been a while, and but we're still working on trying to find a solution to this. This is basically...
Oh, so whenever I get a message that says your rank update error, that's a bug. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. That's just a bug. That's just a bug. That's just a bug.
A lot more complicated than just, hey, fix that one bug.
Quarantine? You're not proud of it. Oh, I love the quarantine, bruh.
I cannot go in detail because I am absolutely not technical enough to explain this. However, we're still on it. We didn't forget about you. I just wanted to specify.
Come on, hit me with some perk changes, lad.
As for optimization, I've seen a couple of questions about optimization. Right now, we do have on our bug report section, maybe if mods can please put a link in the chat. We have a specific area for optimization bugs. What we need from those bug reports is really specific, because saying FPS bad is not helping us at all. So maybe, for example, FPS bad when Bloodlux kicks in. That's more of something that can help us. So if you guys have optimization issue, please go and
come on, lads,
get into this section.
I want to hear about perk changes.
We need specifics.
I've also watched the same clips of Deathslinger for like an hour.
Sadly, I understand the frustration. It's just
I understand your frustration.
This specifically. All right, so I think we're pretty much over with the questions. I'm gonna go back to our news and announcement. So
here we go.
Release for the mid chapter is planned for next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Release for the archive is next Wednesday.
Fuck the archive. I don't care.
Get your hypes up, because really, I can't wait to play these map changes. Actually, design your own cosmetic contest is going on right now.
Do you have anything about perk changes?
Over 800.
I was told there would be some perk changes in this.
Check them out, or also apply. Maybe it's you, our winner. Bug report forums. Again, we have a specific place to report bugs. Please.
They'll probably do it at the end.
Helps us a lot, as long as you give us enough detail. Again, this break is not enough information. Final thing, mobile is as released last week, so please direct your question to our mobile folks. We do not have answers for you.
Mobile?
We're taking care of PC.
Mobile's trash, by the way. If you're wondering how that turned out.
So, they have a Discord server, Twitter, and I am guessing all the other stuff. It's just that maybe I can link you to the website as well.
Terrible.
For mobile. Yes, last question I can answer today. Is my cat okay? So...
Perk changes? No perk changes.
Decepticat. He is here to deceive you. He is not a real cat. The real cat is in the box right here, right next to me.
Oh, not Queen's cat. That's what I care about, bro.
Giddy!
Giddy. Yep.
Sorry.
No perk changes for us?
Alright, so you guys all met Pebbles now? Pebbles is his official name. Okay, so guys, just stay in chat. We're gonna raid one of our fog wizards. Yes? Did you want to say something? Sorry.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, even.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Perk changes.
Someone broke Ethan. Please, someone help. Okay, so we're gonna raid Scorpions after the stream, and thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. It was a very new experience for us. We hope to.
Okay, so they said nothing about perk changes. I'll have to look it up in my spare time, see if I missed something. Oh well, lads. Okay, so that's the Chapter 15 update, mid-chapter, bruh. So, did they say anything good? Well, Bloodlust is staying in the game. That's good. Just for the future, a lot of my predictions are right. What else is new? Alright, lads. While we're going to end this one and start up another one, we're going to go ahead and play a little bit of this awful game now. GG's, buddy boy.